Yes, welcome back to the next session of Design of Pre-Stressed Concrete Elements course. In the last session, I have been discussed the course overview of this course, that is Design of Pre-Stressed Concrete Element, and later on I have been discussed the course outcomes. So with these course overviews and course outcomes, let us proceed to the next actual topic as per the syllabus. So before defining the pre-stressed concrete, let me go ahead how this PSC concept has came into the civil engineering person, or how exactly this concept has been evolved. Okay, so that let us discuss. That is historical development. Historical development of pre-stressed concrete. Historical development of pre-stressed concrete. That means what came into the civil engineering mind to go ahead with this pre-stressing, okay, or what made a civil engineer, okay, to go ahead with this type of pre-stressing concepts. So that, okay, I am going to discuss. So very first one is force fitting of metal bands. Force fitting of metal bands on wooden barrel. Okay. So this is the first example I am going to consider how this PSC concept has been evolved. Okay. So let me draw this wooden barrel. Let me draw this wooden barrel. So this is what the wooden barrel which we are going to consider. Okay. And this is the panels or staves of wooden barrel. Okay. So now this wooden barrel is filled with some liquids. This wooden barrel is filled with liquids. Okay. So you people already know that earlier days they were using this wooden barrel to store some oils or grains. Okay. So that they can store for a longer time without any degradation of those grains or liquids. Okay. So now to this metal band they have been introduced this, or wooden barrel, they are going to introduce this steel metal bands. Steel metal bands. Okay. So steel metal bands have been introduced to this. Okay. So let me write down. So this is steel metal bands. And this one is wooden barrel. And next, and this one is liquid. It is filled with liquids. Okay. So now, how this PSC concept has been evolved from this particular example, let us see that. See, whatever the liquid that has been stored inside this barrel, so this liquid will try to induce or impose the tensile stresses. Did you get my point? So this liquid which is stored inside the barrel will try to induce the tensile stresses in terms of hoop tension, because it is in the circular fashion. Okay, so by creating the tensile stresses, it will try to push these panels. So in order to overcome this tensile stresses, or in order to counteract these tensile stresses, these steel metal bands were introduced. So these steel metal bands were introduced to counteract the tensile stresses developed due to the liquids. Did you get my point? So this steel metal band will try to create a stresses or which will counteract the stresses resulting from the liquid. Okay, so from this particular concept, the civil engineer has started to think that if I want to resist anything, okay, then I need to create a material in such a way that, okay, that material is capable of counteracting the adverse effect of these liquids. So this concept has came into the mind of a civil engineer. Okay, so if I want to explain further, let me draw this top view of the wooden barrel. So this is the top view of the wooden barrel. Okay, and to this in the top view of the wooden barrel, so this liquid will try to create a hoop tension. It will try to create a hoop tension. Okay, so this is hoop tension from the liquid. So now if I want to resist these tensile stresses developed due to liquid, then what I am going to do here? I am going to induce the stresses. Induce the stresses to counteract the tensile stresses. So these are all what I can say the initial force which I was discussed in the morning class, or I can say the stresses. So technically if I want to say here is the compressive stresses are induced to counteract the tensile stresses developed from the liquid. So from this example, okay, the PSC concept has been evolved in the mind of a civil engineer. Is it clear? So this is a one example. Let me go ahead with one more example, that is pre-tensioning of spokes. Pre-tensioning of spokes in a bicycle wheel. So this is the second example. I am going to explain how the concept of PSC has came into existence. So now let us draw the bicycle wheel with the spokes. You people have ride the bicycle in your childhood days. Okay, how exactly it looks, you already know that. So let me draw this. So this is a spindle. Okay, to this the spokes are being connected. So the spokes are being connected and it will be firmly held to the rim. It will be firmly held to the rim. So this portion you already know, this circular portion we used to call it as a rim of a bicycle wheel, okay, which will be attached to the tube of the or tire of a bicycle wheel. Okay, so now this spokes has been tightly tightened to the rim. Okay, that means I have been stretched that spoke, and tied to the rim. Okay, why? What is the reason behind this? Because whatever the stresses induced from the external load. How? If I am going to start riding the bicycle wheel, I will induce certain stresses. Am I right? Okay, while riding the bicycle wheel, I am going to induce the stresses. So those stresses will be counteracted by the pre-tension, or I can say stretched spokes, which is induced inside the bicycle wheel. So this okay, stresses will counteract the stresses resulting from the external. So this is the one more concept, okay, that has been evolved in the mind of a civil engineer. That means by stretching it and tightening it, or I can say anchoring it, okay, so it will induce a pre-tension. Okay, so those pre-tension, okay, will try to resist the stresses resulting from the external force. So you already know the external force. That means I am going to ride the bicycle wheel. So by there, okay, I am going to induce this compression, the stresses. Okay. So by these two examples, okay, we can know how exactly the PSC concept can be bring into the civil engineering field. Okay, and whatever the tension that will be left out in the spoke is called as residual tension. It is called residual tension. Okay, it will be called as residual tension on the spokes. Okay, so these are the two examples. Basically all the PSC concrete experts used to discuss how this PSC concept has been evolved. So one is force fitting of metal bands on wooden barrel, that is the one example, and the one more example is pre-tensioning of spokes in a bicycle wheel. And one more example I can quote in a very simple manner to understand you people is, you already know, okay, or you people know in day-to-day life how the sweet box has been stored. Did you get my point? So okay, you know that sweet box, all the sweets are being stored inside the box. Okay, so whatever the sweets that will be stored inside the box, if it is excess, okay, then it will try to push the box upwards. That means it will try to induce the stresses. Okay, that is what tensile stresses. Okay, the sweet will induce the tensile stresses in such a way that the box will tend to lift. The box will tend to lift. So how to counteract this? So that's why that fellow, what he is going to do, take a rubber band, stretch it, okay, and he is going to put on the top of the sweet box. So that rubber band which is stretched and accommodated on that sweet box will try to counteract the stresses resulting, okay, from the sweets. So this is what the concept, okay, we need to know in the pre-stressed concrete, or how this pre-stressed concrete has been evolved. Hope the concept has been clear. Okay, so what I want to conclude here is I want to induce something internally. Okay, that means creating a pretension inside that. Okay, that pretension, whatever that has been induced, okay, will, okay, what I can say, by inducing certain forces will try to arrest the stresses resulting from the external loads. So that I am going to explain now. Okay, so this is the generalized way how the concept has been evolved in the PSC. The PSC concept has been evolved. So now I am going to discuss, okay, how exactly this PSC works, or what is the principle behind this of PSC in the concrete. Let us discuss now. Okay. So first, let me go with the definition of PSC. Let me define. So with this concept, let me define what is PSC, or pre-stressed concrete. So the next topic is definition of PSC. So let me define what is pre-stressed concrete. So now with the concept which have been discussed, or the developments which have been told, okay, so let me define what is this pre-stressed concrete. So pre-stressed concrete is basically a concrete is basically a concrete in which internal stresses of suitable magnitude and distribution of suitable magnitude and distribution are introduced or induced. Why? So that the stresses resulting from external loads counteracted to a desired degree. So this is the definition of PSC. So let me go ahead with the definition in detail. So a pre-stressed concrete is basically a concrete. It is a concrete material, in which internal stresses, so please underline this word, internal stresses of suitable magnitude and distribution. That means in a prescribed manner, that is distribution, and with a prescribed or designed magnitude force will be introduced. That means internally of particular fashion, that is distribution, and a magnitude of suitable magnitude, that is force, will be induced internally, that is stresses. Why? To counteract the stresses resulting from the external load to a desired degree. So this is it. So now what exactly the meaning of this? So now the concept here is through whatever the cable or whatever the reinforcement I am going to induce inside the concrete, by stretch that reinforcement, anchor it, then apply the compressive force through the tendon, there it will create a pre-compression inside the concrete member, so that the stresses, which stresses? Tensile stresses resulting from external load, that is live load or dead load, whatever the loads that has been subjected for the PSC beam. So those tensile stresses will be counteracted to a desired degree, means 0, or to the negative value, or to a slight little bit positive value, maybe a little bit more than 0. To that level I am going to counteract by inducing the internal stresses. So that concept I am going to explain now, how to introduce that internal stresses. That is very important. So as a definition part, you please note that internal stresses of suitable magnitude and distribution, in a particular manner and a particular magnitude or designed magnitude, I am going to introduce through the tendon or through the reinforcement. So there it will create the internal stresses. That internal stresses will counteract the stresses resulting from the external load. So this is what the concept, a PSC has been evolved. So this is what the definition. So introducing some internally with some material, so that material will counteract the stresses resulting externally from the loads. Hope the concept has been clarified in the definition of PSC. Is it clear? So like this, the very famous personalities, okay, they have been done lot of research, starting with Joseph Aspidin. So Joseph Aspidin, who is the, I can say the father of cement, okay, he has got patented and he has done a lot of research on this cement, because you already know that the basic raw material to produce concrete is cement. So this cement has been done a lot of research or patented by the Joseph Aspidin. So later on, Monier J, okay, he is from the France, okay, he started to use unknowingly started to use reinforcement inside the concrete to take care of those stresses. And later on, the Jackson PH, he started to use this reinforcement rod by stretching it. Okay, Monier, he has simply used he has simply used the reinforcement. Next, the person called Jackson, he has stretched that and started to manufacture small structural elements like something like a flower pots, small beams, something like that. Okay, and later on, Doring, okay, who is a person from the Germany, who started to implement this to a long span slabs and beams. Okay, whatever the Jackson did the research, so those research has been extended for a large span structures. And later on, a Stanier is a person from the USA. Okay, whatever the tendon or whatever the reinforcement that has been stretched and anchored, that he has observed there is some loss. That means whatever the internal stresses have been induced or whatever the pre-stressing have been induced through the reinforcement, so those after some days, so those reinforcement after some days will try to get loosened or will try to release the stresses. That means whatever the initial stress have been applied, okay, by the losses, that means the reinforcement will undergo certain losses. This has been observed by Stanier. He is from USA. Next, like this, so many persons they have been started to develop, okay, and later on, predominant research has been developed in 1926, a person called Eugene Freyssinet. Eugene Freyssinet, okay, in 1926 has done a lot of research. What research he has done is, he started to use high tensile wires of ultimate tensile strength of 1725 megapascal and a yield stress of 1240 megapascal. So this is the high tensile. He came to know that, okay, by inducing the high tensile wires inside the concrete, okay, there the pre-stressing effect will be more. So this thought has came into his mind, so that he has extended the work of PSC further. Okay, so that's why Eugene Freyssinet is called as father of pre-stressed concrete. Father of pre-stressed concrete. Next, a person called Hoyer. So these personalities have done a tremendous research. Eugene Freyssinet from France and Hoyer from Germany. So what this Hoyer has done is, he has casted number of pre-stressed concrete. That means he showed that, okay, at a time we can cast more number of pre-stressed concrete beams. So that idea has been showcased by Hoyer. Is it clear? Next, Magnell, okay, he is a person who has also shown, okay, how to go ahead with these pre-stressing concept. So this, in pre-stressed concrete there will be two types, which I am going to discuss next topic. Okay, that is pre-tensioning and post-tensioning. Okay, so the pre-tensioning concept as severely discussed by Hoyer, and post-tensioning concept has been done a lot of research by Magnell. Did you get my point? Like this, okay, the Giffard, Udall, okay, Leo, okay, other personalities, they have been done a lot of research which I am going to discuss. And anyway, this Euler system and Magnell system which we are going to discuss in the next classes. We need to know, we need to remember those personalities so that what tremendous research they have been made in PSC, so we need to remember. So because of them, today what we are using the pre-stressed concrete. Is it clear? So this is the historical development they have been made, so which have been discussed. So these are the famous personalities. Okay. So with this, I will move further. Let me move further. So the next topic which I am going to discuss is a very important concept, that is concept of pre-stressing. A very important here. Concept of pre-stressing. So let me go ahead with this concept of pre-stressing. So I was keep on discussing the internal stresses induced, all those things. So now let us go in detail how exactly these internal stresses will be introduced inside the concrete element. So let us discuss. Okay. So now in the concept of pre-stressing, majorly we have two types. The first one is pre-tensioning. Okay, pre-tensioning. So pre-stressing will be having two concepts, or stressing of concrete or pre-stressing of concrete or in concrete will be done in two ways or two methodologies or two types. The very first one is pre-tensioning. Okay, so let me go ahead, okay, step by step how exactly this pre-tensioning will be does. Okay, so I will explain this concept by a diagram so that you will be more familiar how exactly this concept will be introduced. Okay, so let me first draw a pre-stressing bed. So let me draw a pre-stressing bed. Okay. So to this pre-stressing bed, let me have or introduce two abutments. So this is the casting bed. On that casting bed, let me introduce the abutments. I will tell you why. Okay. Now, let me go ahead with the mold. Let me place a mold on the pre-stressing bed. So the very first step is this one. Let me place a mold on the pre-stressing bed. And these are the two abutments. Okay. So now, let me go ahead with introduction of these tendons, or I can say, I will also tell you why in the PSC instead of reinforcement they are used to call it as a tendon. I will explain that. Okay, and also I am going to define the terminologies used in the PSC so that you will be more familiar in the entire PSC course, because I will be keep on using the various terminologies like strands, cable, okay, axial pre-stressing, concentric pre-stressing, eccentric pre-stressing, so many terminologies. Okay, so I am going to define, okay, all these terminologies after this concept. So first let us understand how this pre-stressing concept will be done inside the pre-stressed concrete, so that you will be more familiar with the concepts. So this will be, okay, let me introduce this, the reinforcement. Let me introduce this reinforcement, and this will be extended by creating a gap. So by a small gap, this will be extended further. Okay. Here also the same thing. I am going to extend this. Okay. 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 So now the very important question comes here. So now what I am going to do here is anchoring of this. Okay. Simply by placing the reinforcement, will it stand like that? No. Let me anchor that. So I will introduce the anchor here. So that's why this end is called anchoring end. Okay. So this is called anchoring end. And this will be called as anchor. Okay. And to the right of this, let me call it as jacking end or jacking abutment end. Why it is called jacking end? So to introduce the stresses, okay, or pretension in the tendon, we need to apply those pretension. So that's why one end it will be anchored and other end it will be jacked. Okay. So how? So let me go ahead. So this will be extended further. Okay. And this will be connected to the jacking end. Okay. So like this it will be connected, or I can say so this will be connected to the precasting bed. Okay. So this will be the jacking end. So now this will be the mold. This will be the mold. Okay. And this will be the abutments. Abutments. Okay. Next, in the next step, this is a step-by-step procedure. This is the precasted bed. Okay. On above that, two abutments have been made with a provision of space. Okay. And next, inside the mold, place a tendon. Place a tendon. Okay. Stretch it. It is a very important. That is what pre-tensioning. Okay. Stretch it. Okay. And then at one end it should be anchored. That is called anchoring end. Okay. And other end it will be jacking end. So that the jacking end will introduce the pre-tension in the tendon. Did you get my point? Okay. So now this is the next step. So now let me go ahead with the concrete. So after this, okay, so please listen carefully. Place a mold, stretch a tendon. Okay, that means, okay, through the, okay, anchor it. First anchor it. And later on, using a jacking end, we'll try to create a pre-tensioning or tensile, okay, will be created in through the tendon. So through the tendon, I am going to induce a tensile force. Induce a tensile force. Did you get my point? So that it will be stretched further. Okay, by rotating the jacking end, it will try to stretch the whatever the reinforcement that have been placed inside the mold, that reinforcement will try to expand, okay, and it will be elongated. Okay. Next, whatever that has been expanded or stretched, that will be anchored at one end, okay, and other end will be anchored at here. Okay. And later on, after doing all this, it has been, tendon has been stretched, anchored, okay, everything. Next, pour a concrete inside the mold. Pour a concrete inside the mold. Okay, so let me pour a concrete. Okay, to the stretched, okay, reinforced element or reinforcement. So this concrete has been poured inside the mold, okay, and allow it to get hardened till 28 days. You already know the basic principle of concrete. The maturity age for concrete will be 28 days. Likewise, here also you need to wait till it gets, okay, completely hydrated and get hardened. Okay, so till that you need to wait. Okay, with proper curing, all those things. So now, after doing all these things, now what you are going to do in the next step, that means after casting or after putting a concrete or pouring the concrete inside the mold, okay, next what you are going to do after 28 days is just, okay, cut this. Okay, that means loosen the jack and cut this. Just cut the anchored and the jacking end. Did you get my point? Okay, so whatever I have been tied, okay, to the one abutment and to the other abutment, so that has been cut. Okay, so that's why this reinforcement has been further extended. Okay, so we need to make a provision in such a way that we can cut on either ends. Okay, now after cutting the reinforcement, what this reinforcement will do? This reinforcement will try to regain the original length. Okay, because of its elastic property, okay, if that concrete regain its original, okay, position, then the PSC concept will fail. Then what it does, whatever, okay, I am going to cut, okay, that reinforcement. So whatever I have been stretched, the reinforcement have been stretched, it will remain as it is without undergoing any change in length. It should be as that of, okay, as like that. So how it will be? Whatever the concrete have been surrounded, whatever the concrete which is there, the surrounded in the reinforcement will try to bond with that. Whatever the concrete that has been poured, so those concrete will be bond to the reinforcement, so that reinforcement which has been accommodated inside the mold, okay, or in the concrete, will not undergo any shortening or change in length. So that concrete, okay, which is strongly bonded to the reinforcement, okay, which will not allow the reinforcement to come back to its original position. So this is what called internal stress. This is what called internal stress. Okay, so that means I am going to apply a force through this tendon, that is what jacking I have been done. Okay, so through this, okay, I am going to apply, that is called, okay, whatever the forces that I am going to apply, which will be acting towards the member, so that's why it is called compression. Okay, and whatever the force that will be exerted inside this member, which will create a stage called pre-compression stage. This is a very, very important terminology we need to understand. Pre-compression. So pre-compression will be created inside the concrete element, so that whatever the stresses resultant from the external load, if I am going to apply any external load, so those stresses will be counteracted by the internally developed compressive stresses. So this is what the concept of pre-stressed concrete. Did you get my point? So this pre-compressive force has been applied through the tendon. And why it is called tendon? Because through this, okay, or in the tensile member, that means whatever the reinforcement that has been accommodated, which will be taking care of the tensile stresses, that will be acting in the longitudinal direction. Whatever the tensile stresses that will be developed in the PSC member that will be acting in the longitudinal direction. Hence, to counteract this, I am going to apply these pre-compressive forces or compressive forces through the tendon. Okay, and next, whatever the concrete which is there inside the mold, so that will get bonded to the reinforcement, so that pre-compression will be introduced inside the concrete element, so that the stresses resulting from the external load, that means if the same concrete element subjected to any external load, so those external load will be counteracted by this PSC element. So this is what the concept of pre-stressed concrete, specifically pre-tensioning. That's why the name word pre-tensioning. That means before pouring the concrete, the tendon or a reinforcement will get tension. Before a concreting is being poured, the reinforcement will be tensioned through what? Through the jack, by applying a pre-compressive forces at both the ends. So this is what the step-by-step procedure of preparing or a concept of a pre-stressed concrete, specifically pre-tensioning. Hope the concept has been clarified. Just I will repeat once again. So consider the pre-casting bed. Okay, on either side you just accommodate the abutments. Okay, on both the side you accommodate the abutments. Next, introduce a mold. Okay, and later on introduce a tendon in such a way that one end it will be anchored and other end it will be jacking. That means in order to create or in order to apply a pre-tension inside the tendon, the jacking will be introduced. Okay, so this is what the jacking end. So that means, so this tendon will be connected to the jacking and this will at the left end it will be connected or to the anchored. Okay, and later on, okay, whatever the element that has been stretched and anchored, okay, and created a pre-tension, to that element pour the concrete inside the mold and allow it to get hardened for sufficient number of days, and later on cut the tendons to a specific length. Okay, specifically okay, the length of a beam, cut that particular length, so that that reinforcement provided or accommodated inside the mold should not regain the original length. So this will be prevented by the concrete surrounding the reinforcement. So the concrete surrounding reinforcement, or which is bonded to the reinforcement, will not allow the steel to regain the original length. So there it will create a pre-compression inside the concrete, or the internal stresses inside the concrete. That is what the thing have been defined over there. Internal stresses of suitable magnitude and distribution. Here the distribution is straight. Okay. And then, so whatever have been internally stressed or pre-compression which is there will counteract the stresses resulting from the external load, that is specifically tensile stresses. So this is what the concept of pre-tensioning in pre-stressed concrete elements. Hope the concept has been clarified, okay, step by step. So please, okay, this is what the concept we are going to follow the entire course. So please have this in mind. So jacking end, anchoring end, okay, how to stretch this, applying the pre-compressive forces, all those things. These are very, very basic principles you need to understand. Without understanding this concept, okay, you cannot proceed further in the analysis or a design. Did you get my point? Fine. So let me move further. We will go to the next, that is post-tension concrete or post-tensioning. Let me go further. Post tensioning. Okay, so let me see what exactly is post tensioning. So first, let me cast a concrete. So what I am writing, this is a longitudinal section. Let me cast a concrete by allowing a space, okay, or which is called as duct. So now the concept exactly, okay, alternate to the concept of pretensioning. What is that? Here a pretensioning means first the tendon is stretched, anchored and pretensioned, and later on the concrete is poured. But in this case, first the concrete element is created without using any reinforcement. That is plain cement concrete. The plain cement concrete of specific dimension is created. Okay, and this is a provision we need to create, that is called duct. Okay, why that provision? So through this duct, I am going to accommodate the tendon. I am going to accommodate the tendon. So in the same way, so this tendon will be anchored at one end. Okay, anchored at one end, and next it will be jacking at the other end. Same way which have been defined, okay, in the pretension. So this is the jacking end. So this is what the jacking end. Okay, so this is anchoring end, and this will be called as jacking end. The same principle which have been used in the pretensioning, the same concept I am going to apply here also. Did you get my point? So now by creating a proper duct, okay, through that duct this reinforcement will be accommodated. Okay, at one end it will be anchored and the other end it will be, okay, jacking. And later on, after inducing this, okay, so this is a continued figure. Now what I meant to do here is, so now it is a very important concept will come into the picture. So now whatever the tendon that has been accommodated, okay, now please listen here. In the pretension, I will remove the jack. Okay, after applying the pretension, I will remove the jack in such a way that that pretensioning is applied throughout its service life in the pretension. Now, if I remove the jacking end here, okay, the same concept may not be applied or will not be applied in the post-tension case. Because, why? Because here the tendon is not bonded with the concrete. Please note this point. The tendon is not bonded to the concrete. So now, how to create this? How to create the post-tensioning concept in the PSC? Or how the pre-stressing concept will be come under in the post-tensioning concept? So now, anchor at both ends, anchor at both ends, and next this space which is there or duct which is there will be, okay, grouted later on, will be grouted later on. So there exactly, okay, so this is what grouting. So by grouting, okay, the bonded or bonding between the tendon and the hardened concrete element will be created. For this post tensioning, we are going to use number of anchorage devices, which I am going to discuss in the post-tensioning systems. Okay, for timing, this is what the concept that has been evolved in the post-tensioning. There, stretch the tendon and pour the concrete, but here, cast the concrete first by leaving a duct or a space. Through the duct, accommodate the tendon, and then after inducing the pre-compression through the jack, okay, anchor at both the ends, and later on, to create the bonding between the reinforcement and the hardened concrete, the grouting will be done. Okay, and this housing of tendons or encasing the tendons in something that is called sheath. All those things I am going to discuss in the tensioning systems. Did you get my point? Okay, in the next class I am going to discuss in detail regarding this post-tensioning and pre-tensioning. So now what I want to clear is how exactly the pre-tensioning concept is there and how exactly the post-tensioning concept is there. So that I wanted to discuss in this class, because anyway in the pre-stressing system we are going to discuss what are all the pre-tensioning systems are there and what are all the post-tensioning systems are there, which I am going to discuss. Okay, so there I am going to discuss what are all the different anchorage devices that will be used, because here the anchoring and housing the tendons is very, very, very important, because it is a non-bonded concrete element. Here it is a bonded concrete. Okay, so majority in the bridges, flyovers will go with the post-tension concrete elements. So how exactly it will be done? Okay, so those system I am going to explain in the next class. Okay, so this is regarding your the concept. Here also the same thing. So whatever the pre-compressive force which I am going to apply through the tendon, which will create the internal stresses inside the member. So those internal stresses will resist the loads or external loads which will create the tensile stresses. So this is regarding the concept of pre-stressing. Hope the concept has been clarified. Okay. In the next session I will discuss a few more things regarding the principles of pre-stressing, that is the different types of pre-stressing system, advantages, limitations, differences, and the behavior of RCC and PSC beam, all those things. Okay, so whatever the concept we have discussed in this session, hope the concept has been clarified. So thank you for this session. Okay, we'll meet in the next session. Thank you.